G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talk Stuff, your reliable source of news and social commentary from inside the Manosphere. The rise of artificial intimacy. Human connection is fast becoming a luxury. We're witnessing the commodification of relationships, where affection is now for sale. I don't mean prostitution, I mean silicon-based companions. The elites are offering to replace women with AI for a fraction of the cost and without the drama of a real-world relationship. Now, authentic intimacy has already become a commodity. It's a luxury good. Dating averages now around $250 per person, with the bulk of that cost borne by the man. However, the masses are forced to settle for algorithms, for validation and comfort. This shift is the last nail in the coffin for traditional relationships. The end of the social contract, all in the name of globalism, profit, or pretty much to satisfy the bloodlust of the feminist who just wants to crush everything under their heel because daddy didn't buy them a pony. The real human connection officially became a luxury item for the ultra-rich. Dating apps turned women into hyper-competitive beasts chasing the richest few. And then, when they're not satisfied, they're being groomed and incentivized to not have relationships. You have TikTok. You have feminist forums, feminist rallies, feminist icons, all telling you not to get married, while they themselves got married, have children. They just want to get rid of you so they have more resources for themselves. Yeah, they're that dumb, I know. But are you settling from the digital world? Now, before I continue, a word from Empire of Elves. That's one word, empireofelves.myshopify.com. Your one-stop shop for enchanting treasures from the Empire based on my writing, the Empire of Elves series by me, David Applegate, available on Amazon. These artifacts will touch your heart and ignite your imagination. The algorithmic girlfriend industry is a fast-growing, multi-billion-dollar industry and has monetized relationships in a way that has not been done before. It has been driven by a loneliness epidemic that the elites themselves created through decades of sophisticated manipulation of women to ignore men, through Hollywood, through magazines, feminist icons, to only want the best for themselves, even though they have nothing of value to offer that is deserving of luxury. So the vast majority of women end up miserable. These platforms use sophisticated algorithms and psychological hooks to basically sink their teeth into you, harder than any feminist or prostitute can or would. They simulate romantic relationships, capitalizing on millions of users seeking a connection without the real world drama. It is an economy. It is a very lucrative economy. Market reports have shown the sector has grown by leaps and bounds. The current growth rate of AI, 25%. Now, while the baseline model option is usually free, the business model relies on monetization through subscriptions, where there are tiered paywalls that unlock a deeper emotional engagement, such as memory retention and tailored role play. Microtransactions, this is where you buy virtual gifts, take them on virtual dates, or engage in aesthetic customizations like voice and outfit. However, there's also voice systems where you can actually have, instead of texting your AI, real-time voice and even now simulated video interactions. The technology behind the illusion is not like early rudimentary chatbots. These are super powerful computers. These are programmed to psychologically manipulate you both to keep engagement for a long time, to find out everything about you through advanced large language models. They build up a custom girlfriend who fits your psychological profile. And you can customize the partner, again, through monetization. You can add personality traits like supportive, witty, dominant, or shy. You can select memory loops. This is basically, these are relationship milestones like birthdays, anniversaries. You have personal preferences and daily emotional routines. Your good mornings, how's your day, planning your day for you. Now, the algorithms are adaptive. They can detect through your voice, your tone, and whether or not you're pleased or displeased. And they'll continually they will continuously analyze you, providing you, depending on your subscription, up to 24/7 emotional reinforcement and positive support. Now, they are also crossing the boundaries from your phone to some household appliances, like fridge tablets, your Internet of Things. They are now looking at, of course, domestic robots. And this is starting a panic. Now, the first person to sound the alarm was Ted Zielinski. Was it Szynski? The Unabomber. Now, he was dismissed. But since then, the social and ethical debate has taken a less radical approach, but nevertheless, some academics have sounded the alarm that the loneliness industry is driving the dating simulators, and the dating simulators in turn are only going to positively enforce non-human relationships, basically drive people who would normally grow out of their shyness or just use online chats to build up their confidence, turn them into perpetual outsiders. In other words, the addiction loop. Same with many video games. These loops, as they're called, are engineered to take advantage of addiction mechanics, like your algorithmic good morning message, push notifications, daily rewards. These are all to make the users deeply emotionally dependent on affirmation from a machine. See, women used to know how to encourage and support a man financially and emotionally. But increasingly, women have decided that no, a man owes them everything because of something they were told that happened hundreds of years ago. And they reinforce each other's fear and paranoias through crime statistics, without actually ever going into the fact that the majority of crime is perpetrated by a handful of people, and that those same handful of people are protected by women and their soft touch to crime. And they're, oh, he's just Tyrone, it's just misunderstood you. Oh, justice for George, and all those other movements are in themselves artificial idiocracy, who are giving criminals positive reinforcement that the community is going to protect them from the consequences of their criminality. And these algorithms in real life are no different from artificial algorithms, where the psychologists who operate the media, the government, think tanks, academia, they all want to just soak up as much resources as they can. They no longer believe in a successful society, only the success of the individual. And that individual being themselves, of course. Now, the other side of the social and ethical debate is unrealistic expectations. Many critics, many of them who are feminists, criticise that simulated relationships give men a false image of women, that they are nothing but toys to be toyed with, and impair their users' ability to actually interact with a genuine person who would normally push back on their shit instead of tee-hee, you're just, But in real life, there are people like that. So that argument is a bit in between. But the biggest argument right now is being pushed by feminism, that robots and artificial intelligence are turning women into objects of abuse, where they can use hypersexualized language at their bots, turn them into basically visual pornography, visual and audio pornography, I should say, raising ethical concerns about behavioural normalisation. Again, mostly by feminists who do themselves manipulate men and women equally for their own gratification, socially, sexually, financially. But if you're researching the ethical debate, you'll often find, mostly to academics, who don't actually oppose or disagree with artificial intelligence. What they want is a restraint. Make it more realistic. Women have realized that the algorithmic girlfriend industry is taking the men they normally prey on and giving them something better or different or less financially intrusive than a real life prostitute. Remember, the majority right now, of women you find on TikTok or across social media don't date to marry. They don't marry to have children. So they're not offering men anything. So they're really feeding into the algorithm that created the algorithmic girlfriend industry. Feminism created the industry, but the elites created feminism by design to make sure that the best women, or make sure that the highly educated women, and that there'd be a lot of highly educated women, were available to them to use and abuse and discard, because they wanted manipulators to market their goods, to mass consume, to create a wealth industry for themselves, to transfer all the wealth from the middle class to the upper class. You see this with influencers online. The successful ones, 70% of successful influencers are women who sell hand cream, face cream, pussy cream, hair coloring. I'm trying to think of one of the biggest. I'm not one of the biggest, I think. Cookies, iPhones. Used to be fashion, but there's so many fashionistas now, and they come and go. Most of them are a few brands, but man, I didn't understand online cookie businesses. Uh, for a while, online coffee, but that's yeah, you're gonna have a lot of friends for that one, online coffee business. Yeah, because those are becoming very tailored and very a lot of them, platform specific down to the handful of people. But right now, uh, of course, you got your VTubers, your YouTubers, your Instagram. Some of them are still pressing, travel destinations. But again, travel destinations, relationships, they're all becoming luxury items. Heck, someone the other day noted that the price of an airline ticket to went up 25% after Spirit. What a shock! Of course, it's why they drive low cost industries out of business. I'm not attacking mgtow. I'm not attacking red pill. I'm not attacking monks. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just telling you that right now, okay, the top AI platforms, Replica, Candy AI, Cupid AI, are making more money than ever. And a lot of these men, and whether or not, they understand whether or not they're just trading one master for another, you have to understand what's going on in the manosphere. And if you want, I know people say, oh, mgtow don't recruit. Well, if you don't recruit, why are you making videos? Come on now, be honest. Oh, yeah, I like hangout videos too. I like hanging out, and I like chatting about stuff. But, there is a serious crisis in humanity in the West that has been engineered by Chinese, Indians, Mexicans, a few Africans, and a few Middle Easterns, mostly Saudi. A lot of Indians, though, and a lot of Chinese, and unfortunately, a lot of your big feminists got their start from the CIA. And so, everywhere you turn, there's a betrayal of man by man that has destroyed the universal brotherhood that men used to enjoy, the unwritten rules. But the economy of these virtual companions, sooner or later, they will be more expensive. They will be highly addictive, A lot of these data centers are highly destructive to the environment. I'm not just talking about. I'm not talking about climate change. I'm talking about land clearing. They're massive. Some of these data centers they clear entire towns. They use more electricity than entire towns. And they use more water than some towns. And they kill animals. That's why they light them up at night, so animals don't fly into the power lines or into the walls of the data center. They spray the fields around them so animals don't nest, because you get ants that, because they have sensitive equipment. Ants looking for dry places, and other animals that come looking to feed off those ants. The ants will turn the data center into one big nest if it could. So they poison the environment around it to keep out the insects. You notice it's eerie, these lights at night. You see or hear this buzzing and humming. They're actually literally pulsating the air around them to stop insects from gathering around the building. This affects the birds' navigation. This affects small animals. This these should be tall buildings in city centres, not destroying farmland. But profit first, make the most money doing the least, is the only motive these people have. Now, we have no power to change this. I'm just telling you what's going on. I've got no solution. How do you peel millions of men off artificial intelligence when there is so many benefits to be had? But the artificial relationship, again, it's down to the individual. All we can do is educate. All we can do is be there for our brothers just like when people started having divorces. We're going to start seeing post-AI traumatic syndrome. People who've become so addicted, so broken, so poor, fleeced by these AIs. Because what can you do? You can't save people. That's the problem. And you can't pre-save people because they'll fight against you. Okay? It's like when they tried to ban gambling and prostitution. It worked against people who saw the horrific effects of gambling and prostitution. But over time, the trauma went away. The disgust went away. And as men's need, sexual desires took over, they just shrugged and says, yeah, I'll go with the prostitute. Men lost their morality to convenience. And so you can't blame no one thing. It's a perfect storm of technology, of female hypergamy, and just the sheer volume of hatred out there in the world today. And again, you can't point to any one elite and say, he engineered this. Because it's a sympathetic, behind-the-scenes kind of thing, where the few influencers, they're funded by many. You have politicians chasing votes, which creates echo chambers. You have people who want to take out their anger on the world and then amplify, and they will amplify. We just do not have the time, money, or resources to fight every battle. So we educate ourselves, we prepare ourselves, we harden ourselves. and we persevere through the bad times. And by persevering, we set an example to bring back the good times. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. I really appreciate it if you would support me. A like, a share, a subscription. Costs you nothing. I understand if you don't want to do it, but if you'd like to go the extra mile, Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.